As you reach your mid-30s like I have, you've experienced a little bit of life, definitely made some mistakes along the way, and learned some important lessons. So here are the 10 key money lessons I learned as a doctor in my 30s. Hi, I'm Dr. Jang and you're watching The Financial Neurologist. I'm a board-certified physician turned financial nerd, and together we'll take an evidence-based approach to personal finance. Alright, let's get right into it. Lesson number 1. Small investment fees can lead to large losses. You know, I participate in various financial independence forums, and sometimes I'm dismayed by looking at the restrictive, high-fee mutual fund composition of some employer 401k investment options. Like any free market, the greedy financial institutes definitely have wedged their way into taking their share of the American retirement pie. This is all the more disgusting because for the average American who even takes that very first step in saving for their retirement, likely would have no idea what in the world an assets under management fee is. It's a fee charged as a percentage of the current market value of your portfolio, and as such, this fee grows as your portfolio grows. Now think about this. When you go get your hair cut, this semi-regular maintenance service that's provided, similar to how a brokerage company or a financial advisor would semi-regularly manage your fund. Does your barber or hairdresser ask you for your bank account information after they give you your haircut to take a percentage of your entire net worth as a fee for their service? No, that's insane. Also, the numbers are quite deceiving. I ran those numbers myself using compound interest calculators on my own portfolio because 1% in fees act as negative compound interest. It works in the opposite direction of where you want to go. 1% in fees could result in the loss of up to 30% of my investments over a typical investing time horizon. For some, this could represent a loss of tens of thousands of dollars. For a lot of others, this likely represents hundreds of thousands of dollars, and for myself, this would represent a loss of millions of dollars. Don't be robbed of your hard-earned retirement. Pay attention to your investing fees. Reason number 2. It's okay to spend a bit more on the things you value. You know, in the past when we were still mostly in a scarcity mindset, our first international trip together as a couple was to Vietnam. And for this flight, we basically looked at Google flights and sorted by whatever was the cheapest flight, and that was what we booked. So what this entailed was a red-eye flight over to Vietnam and a red-eye flight back with a 12-hour layover in China, where we had to sleep in the airport waiting area. This was a terrible experience. You know, I'm not sure how much money we saved by doing this. It's probably in the order of maybe $100 or maybe $200 per ticket. But I do know that the small amount we saved in our flight tickets did not move the financial needle at all in terms of our goals. We don't do this anymore. Not because we're rich now, we don't look at the price of tickets, but we focus on exercising our savings muscle on the bigger ticket items such as reducing our housing fixed costs and not having a car payment. Also, by exercising the muscle of spending on the things we value, it paradoxically makes saving and investing more effective because we're combining a sense of purpose and intentionality to our savings goal instead of just making the whole process miserable. When we book flights now, I try to look for the least amount of connections and direct flights if possible. Now, we're not at the point of booking business class tickets yet, but hopefully that's in the future time horizon. Speaking of spending on the things you value, you know, as a full-time doctor, a dad of 2 beautiful little girls, and a part-time YouTuber creating personal finance content for you guys, it can be hard to balance these different aspects of life while having the energy to be fully present for all these activities. So I've been trying this matcha drink by Magic Mind over the past 3 weeks, and I find that it's helped with my concentration at work and after as well. So how it works is that at its base, it's a matcha green tea drink that has caffeine, which we already know helps promote wakefulness and alertness. What's different between the Magic Mind productivity shots and your daily Starbucks is that they have additional nootropics inside that prolong the effect of caffeine. The key nootropic constituent here is L-theanine, which also has well-studied effects in enhancing attention and focus. Magic Mind was kind enough to sponsor this segment of the video, and if you go to magicmind.com/TaiDang, use my promo code TAI20, you can get up to 56% off your first subscription. Link in the description below. Now on to the next point. If you have to pay for something monthly, you probably can't afford it. So I watch a lot of couples as well as individuals being interviewed and their monthly budget dissected publicly over a variety of different mediums, including forums, podcasts, and YouTube. A common theme I found in the individuals that find it hard to get ahead financially is the overutilization of debt to fund the lifestyle. It is so easy to get what we want now, and this extends far beyond just material purchases and includes even the good debt such as student loans and mortgages. With the heavy push on the profitable product of buy now and pay later financing, extended multi-year repayment plans, promotional low interest rates, and the predatory targeting of the financially illiterate, I could see why so many have fallen into this common trap and thus feel like they can't get ahead in life. All of these things add up to your monthly fixed costs, and once you build up your fixed costs with interest-bearing debt, it's hard to go back to where you were before. In medicine, there's this concept where an ounce of preventative medicine is worth much more than trying to tackle a disease that is far advanced. I encourage you to think about the overall total cost of what you're purchasing, whether it is a nice watch, purse, a car, a house, or even your education and see if it aligns with your financial goals. Don't just look at how much it might cost per month on the surface, which leads us to the next point. Lesson number 4, delayed gratification and goal planning is essential to wealth building. I wish on this channel I could just stand in front of my Lamborghini, sip my glass of champagne and go, just buy my course. Do this for 2 hours a week. Don't bother me. And in no time, you'll be making 6 figures a month. You'll be rich, I tell you. But just make me rich first and you can have your turn after. Yeah, you know, like anything worth it in life, it requires a bit of elbow grease. To build your wealth, it takes exercising that part of your brain your mother gave you. These 2 frontal lobes responsible for your executive planning and practice visualizing the trajectory arc of your life. If you could exercise the muscle of delayed gratification to work towards a goal, then that's the secret. You can read all the personal finance books, blogs, listen to all the podcasts. It really boils down to that. Exercising the executive function of your frontal lobe, mapping out your financial goals, and practicing the essential delayed gratification to reach those goals. Lesson number 5, being aware of your monthly fixed costs is more important than strictly following a budget. You know, I have a thing against budgets. Not only because I've never been able to follow one without having to fiddle with every category as I go into the red with them every month. I also truly don't think they work. I suggest a better method. Use an automated financial tracking tool like Empower Personal Dashboard, which by the way, as of this video, is still completely free to look at your monthly cash flow. You would be surprised at all the crap that you might spend on. I certainly was. So this doesn't mean you fire up the old Excel sheet, make your 100 columns and 50 subcategories to do this. You just let the automated software sort out your expenses and income for you, then look at the graph. Trying to reach your financial goals without having a crystal clear picture of your monthly cash inflows and outflows is like trying to get to a new restaurant but you're just wandering street by street. You don't even know the address. Being aware of your monthly fixed costs allows you to also be more intentional as to where that money is going, cutting out the expenses that really just doesn't add value to your life, as well as being able to make sure that you're hitting your allocation goals for saving and investing. Lesson number 6, reading books has an insane return on investment. Think about the last time you picked up a book. If it's Great Expectations in Mr. White's class back in high school, well, you know, there's no shame in that. You be with the majority of Americans. If you consider the years of effort that it takes to squeeze out the book, the decades of life experiences, then multiple years of researching, writing, editing, fact-checking before you can get your mitts on that book, you can see why there would be an incredible amount of return for the knowledge and life improvement you'll get for the $10 to $20 you spent on that book. Think about the last time 2 cups of Starbucks coffee changed your entire portfolio asset allocation, saving you hundreds of thousands of dollars in BS fees and help you be comfortable and confident in your retirement. You can see how quickly you get your money back. So if you can, stop listening to the finance bros on TikTok, pick up a personal finance book and soak in the glory of decades of knowledge contained within. Lesson number 7, having the right level of insurance is boring but vital. So the topic of insurance is just plain boring. Hell, I even reconsidered adding this point myself to this video. But there have been many times where insurance has saved my butt compared to the amount I invested in said insurance. So when I was younger and naive, I thought I could buy the cheapest car insurance policy. And by young naive, I meant just 2 years ago. When I got into several car accidents due to my super long multi-hour daily commute, that definitely came back to bite me in the you-know-where. I've since bought more car insurance because by now the premiums I now pay would represent just a fraction of the financial coverage that was provided to me when I needed it most. In fact, it would likely take decades before I ever repay whatever the insurance companies have paid out so far. On a related topic, this is partly why I am a huge fan and currently have a term life insurance policy and an own occupation disability insurance policy. Protecting your family financially is definitely up there, or should be up there in terms of importance, and the amount that you pay for this peace of mind is really on the order of pennies on the dollar. Once you have a solid net worth though, yeah, you can ditch these insurance products, but until then, don't let a possible future illness, disability, or God forbid death derail you or your family's dream of financial independence. Lesson number 8, renting can be a better financial decision than buying a home. So whenever I talk about this topic with other people in forums, on this channel, with my friends, and even my wife, the pitchforks definitely come out. You know, aside from your car, your mortgage loan would probably be the largest purchase of your life. It's actually the only purchase where I consider a monthly payment as something unavoidable. But I think the price that you set your monthly housing fixed cost plays a vital role in your ability to save and invest for financial independence. If you're spending 30, 40, or even 50% of your gross income on your housing payment, you can see how it diminishes all the other aspects of your life, not only robbing you of the ability to invest for your future, but also preventing you from enjoying the fun things in life, such as eating out, going on vacations, or funding your kids' college education. When people think about the scenario of a mortgage versus their current rental situation, they just compare the surface monthly cost cost. This is how much a mortgage would cost, and this is how much my rent has cost me. Hey, one is similar to the other. Might as well build some equity in the process, right? By doing this, we're ignoring many of the other hidden costs that drive up that monthly housing fixed cost when you buy a home, which I cover in a separate video. But this includes property tax, home insurance, HOA fees, closing costs, opportunity costs of that equity down payment, maintenance, and higher utilities. And also, now that you have a home, you're going to have the urge to renovate it or fill it up to the brim with furniture and decor. It's rather endless. But the deductions actually, dang, you can't forget about the tax deductions. Sure, you can save some money on tax deductions, but it's the same concept of spending $1 to save a quarter. You still spent the dollar. Since the 1950s, we've normalized taking on 15 to 30 years worth of historically very high interest mortgage debt, a lifelong debt, so that we can buy into the American dream. But this dream really has been manufactured by the real estate industry. Now, take a step back, breathe, put down that pitchfork for a minute. I promise you I'll give you the opportunity to poke at me in the comment section below. All I want you to do is pull up the New York Times buy versus rent calculator and run the numbers for your particular scenario. Okay, you can go back to picking up the pitchforks now. Lesson number 9. Being financially aligned with your partner could supercharge your money goals. You know what's better than one income? 2 incomes. Yeah, you don't have to be a neurologist to do that math. If you don't have a partner, that's fine. Single life is cool as well. You can walk around naked in your apartment and I would be none the wiser. So if you do have a partner and they'll likely be attached to your hip for the long term, it helps to sit down with them and discuss your financial goals. That is, I'm assuming you're interested in setting financial goals, since you're watching a video on money habits taught to you by a neurologist. If you can align your goals for managing debt, managing those large life purchases together, and combining your income and resources to tackle your savings and investing goals together, I promise you this is the secret sauce of financial independence. And it's not just me saying this. There are research studies that have shown married couples have a higher combined net worth at almost every age level. There's a synergistic effect. Now, if you're in a relationship where one partner has a lot of debt, life isn't perfect. I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in high interest student loan debt as well. This would be an opportunity to discuss how to address this debt and start developing a plan to prevent getting back into debt. Okay, so we have talked a lot so far about money this and money that, financial goals, investing, blah, blah, blah. But why is this important? Lesson number 10. Money is ultimately a tool to create your ideal life. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole point. We're not just saving, investing, and being intentional with our spending just so we can have a large money pot to lord over our friends and say, ha, I'm rich, and you're there eating your cup ramen like a peasant. It's so we can use it as a tool to craft the life that we want for ourselves and our family. And this vision is different for everybody, but is definitely something worth striving for. If you want to carve out more time for your kids by dropping down to part-time work or paying for monthly house cleaning or lawn care, you could do that. If you want to work part-time in the career that you still love and you want to spend the other part of your time busking and playing musical gigs for free at the local cafe, you could do that as well. If you want to devote your time to full-time exploration of the wonderfully diverse world we live in, you can definitely do that. So yeah, it puts frugality, intentional spending, awareness of fixed costs, delaying immediate gratification, and buying boring insurance products into perspective. So the next time someone asks you, hey, why are you living like this, man? Tell them, hey, I'm living my best life now so I can live an even better life tomorrow. I encourage you to take that first step with me. Let's do it together. If you found value in these videos and want more useful financial insights, hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and be a part of our journey. Stay tuned and keep thriving.